Okay, so I really don't want to make this video, but I do want to make this video, so I'm making it for you. I lost 70 pounds 2.5 years ago, using life coaching. So I was always pretty heavy. I was probably always 160, 180 by the time I was in high school. When my husband proposed to me, I was 205 pounds. I'm only 5'3". And the heaviest that I was probably somewhere around 230 when I was pregnant with baby number 6. And so I didn't really weigh myself at the end. And then I didn't weigh myself for a while after he came out. So let's assume I lost like 10, 15 pounds when he came out. And then you lose a little bit more. So I'm guessing that when I started that weight loss journey, I was probably somewhere between 200 and 215. And I got all the way down to 133. And I'd never been 133 before. I couldn't remember being less than 150, really, 145 for my whole life. So I've always struggled with this. I'm 38. And so I lost all this weight using tools I had never heard before, managing my mind, feeling urges, and it was just amazing. And it was pretty straightforward. I mean, I don't want to use the word easy because that doesn't feel true. I mean, it's challenging to stick to something, but it was the easiest thing I had ever done. And I did it consistently and I got all the way down to 133. So then I created a weight loss program. And hundreds of Catholic moms have been through it and had success losing weight using the tools that I taught. And I said in that program, I don't think I'm ever going to struggle with my weight again after that. And I really believed that when I did that program and said that. And at this time in my life, I was living in Boise. I probably started losing weight maybe 6 months postpartum. So that baby was 6 months old when I started that journey, lost all my weight, and I filmed the program. So then as a family, we packed up our house and our 6 kids and we moved from Boise, Idaho, all the way up to Sandpoint, Idaho. We moved into an old house, kind of a rickety, no building codes in northern Idaho house. And we live on 5 acres. And I thought that my life was just going to be so great. I was building my business. My husband left his job. I was going to make our money and we're going to homeschool the kids together. And I just thought it was going to be the most magical thing of all time. And it just wasn't. And I started gaining weight. So as a life coach who sells a weight loss program, it felt terrible to start gaining weight. And I still felt great about the program and people were getting amazing results. I'm not going to talk about that here. Amazing results. So I felt really good about what was in the program and I knew that it worked because it worked for me. But the thing I felt kind of bad about was I really thought it was going to be forever. And here it was, and it wasn't my forever. And I wasn't sure why. And I had all these tools and I was like, why? And as I look back, a couple things were happening at that time. We completely gutted and remodeled our kitchen, which is a stressful experience with 6 kids. And we chose that. We knew it was going to be hard, but it was pretty hard. And then my husband and I, who have always kind of struggled in our marriage, started struggling a lot more. And I think partly it was because he didn't have a job and we both chose that together and felt really good about it. But I think it wasn't the best thing for him to just be a stay-at-home dad and not have anything to do with his supercomputer engineering brain. And then we still just have the 6 kids and they're very loud and they eat lots of food and they're just home all the time. And so that in and of itself is kind of an intense environment. And I actually like it and I choose it, but it is intense. It's intense every single day. And I have so many tools now for not feeling overwhelmed and despondent. I used to feel so sad about how hard it was. And now I manage the kid things pretty well, but it is still really full. So I like people to know that. I have a really full life with all these kids. And so as the marriage things were challenging and then just regular kid life, and then I did not anticipate that being responsible for making our money would freak me out. And I don't know why I didn't anticipate that because I grew up kind of poor and not having a lot of money. And so I have some money issues about that. Like, oh no, the lights are going to get turned off, or oh no, they're going to come repossess the car, that kind of level of money fear. And so even though we weren't in a dangerous place, right? We had money to live on. We sold a business and we're living on that money as we're growing my business. it still really freaked me out to be living in the red as we continued to build this business. And I think I just freaked out. I think my body just freaked out. I think that little girl inside of me was just like, oh, husband doesn't love me, doesn't understand me. Oh my goodness, money stuff. And then just the overstimulation of living with a bunch of kids. So I think that's it. It was just those three things. And I just started eating and I watched myself do it. And I will say that that's what was different this time. I don't feel like the weight gain surprised me. I feel like when I was living through it, I consciously chose. And previously that never felt that way to me. It always felt like, oh no, how did I gain 10 pounds? That just happened. And day by day, I was watching myself just making food choices that I knew probably would lead to weight gain. And I just chose that. So it would look like, you know what? There's a lot going on right now. And you want to eat this to soothe yourself. And we're just going to go ahead and do that. And so it felt so much more gentle than that had ever felt before. I don't feel like I was putting my head in the sand about it. I don't feel like I was confused about it. I think I was just dealing with three pretty big sources of stress and pain and just choosing to cope with that through eating. I don't watch a lot of television. I don't drink alcohol. I don't shop a lot. There just wasn't a lot of healthy outlets for me that I knew how to use consistently. And so I just started gaining weight. And then I felt terrible about it. And I didn't really know how to talk about it. And I didn't want it to take away from the weight loss program that we had that I knew was so great and so effective. And then we hired at our company, we hired a weight loss coach. Her name is Denise. She is amazing. She's just, I don't know, one of those saint people in my life that just had Holy Spirit sparkles all over her. She's so talented. She struggled with binge eating and completely kicked that and has been in her ideal weight for a long time and had been a coach for a long time and just loves the Lord with her whole heart. Anybody who spent any time with Denise knows that she's just Catholic through and through. And so we hired her to run the weight loss program because that felt like it was an integrity for me, right? Here's this person. She doesn't struggle with that. She's going to teach the weight loss program. And then through working at Made for Greatness and watching our weight loss content and seeing what her background was in, which was different than how I had been trained, we were like, we need a new program that is completely based on the Holy Spirit. And so we made this new program called Weight Loss with the Holy Spirit, and we put it in our membership. And it's new. And so I decided that I wanted to go through this program publicly, which feels terrible to me, but I want to do it, where you guys watch how somebody who, all of those things are the same, okay? My marriage is still painful. My brain still freaks out about money sometimes, that little girl inside of me. And I still have 6 kids who are home all the time. And so I want to show women who are in intense situations, which is not all of you, but for those of you who are, how you can be in an intense situation and feel just like, whew, like some real stress in your body. And how you can still be a woman who chooses what to put in your mouth, how to eat, how to live. And I feel like this is really what God told me was, Sterling, I allowed you to go into this place of darkness so that you could teach people how to come out of the darkness. Because I was praying and I said, Lord, why? Why was this not a problem for me? And then it was a problem. And we know God can do anything he wants. So he could have sent down the Holy Spirit to inspire me to keep the weight off or to lose weight at any point. And he didn't. And not that I blame him, but I'm just saying we know that he can step in. So he didn't. We have free will. And so I was asking him, and I really felt like he said, I wanted you to learn how to be a light in the middle of darkness so that you could teach people how to be a light in the middle of darkness. And so today's day 0, okay? I'm going to pretend I've never seen anything before, and I'm going to watch Weight Loss with the Holy Spirit. I'm going to do the workbook, and I'm going to document it here. I don't know if I'm going to come every single day, but I'm going to come and I'm going to document it. I will put whatever day it is, and I will just share with you how I'm doing it so that you can follow along. So I hope that this account brings you inspiration, and like everything that we do, brings you closer to the Lord and closer to the Holy Spirit, because I really believe that that is the only way to change things. So welcome. I'm excited to do this a little bit, but I'm willing. And here we go.